we've got a big battle of opinions here on stage. I'll represent our two sides. Our question, the fundamental question here is about commercial activity in social media, and we've got a pro team and a con team. Our pro team is represented by Kent Lewis, who is the president of Anvil Media, and he is raring and ready to go. Joining Kent is Kelly Feller, who is the strategist with the Social Media Center of Excellence at Intel. She also loves fish and funk music.
That would be fish with a PH.
Not the food. I mean, that's okay too.
So that's our pro team, our pro commercial activity and social media team, and then...
So you also like funky fish then, right?
No. Maybe. Are you talking like Charlie Tuna? Yes.
Then we've got our dissonants on the other side, the con side. Here we've got Carrie Bugbee, who is an independent PR and marketing professional and rabble-rouser. I got to see Carrie in action down in San Francisco last week at the OMA conference, and I'll be asking her about some of the things that she brought up there that really stirred up the crowd. And then we've got Jared Cattell, who is a recently independent professional of all things marketing, social media, and contrary for the sake of this discussion. And he's promised to put up a good fight as well. So, all of us here in this room aspire to, we would think, aspire to make a living online. And so it's hard to imagine how could there be a con side of this discussion. And I wanted to, I've got a number of different questions, but I wanted to just start out that way by asking Jerry, what on earth are you thinking? Why did you sign up to be on the con side of this debate, and what do you mean by that?
Yeah, I realize that's a really unpopular state to be in. I know all of you here are really into the whole social media world. It's the shiny new thing, as I've heard, and to be quite honest, I think we're spending way too much attention on it as marketers. We're spending about 90% of the mind space on social media marketing when we should only be spending about 5% of the marketing budget on social media marketing. It's a feature. It's not a destination. The other thing that I have a problem with is that social media is a social media. If you break it down, if you deconstruct it, it's about people being social with each other, right? So why do corporations want to get involved with this? Because as we all know, corporations are pathological. They are insane. They don't have a single point of view. They're not a person. They are pathological. So that's when I say, well, why do they want to invade on the space? And that's because that's just where everybody is. That's where everybody's having the conversation. And I say to that, get back on the margins. This is my space. This is social media.
Shocking. Carrie, do you agree with that heresy? Have you got a perspective different from that?
From a marketer's perspective, obviously you want to be wherever people are, but I do agree that there is shiny object syndrome. I think that lots of people probably don't really have any idea what they're doing in social spaces. They are just doing it as a me too kind of strategy, and they don't know what they're going to achieve out of it or how to approach it or really how to do it right. They just know that somebody told them they had to, you know. And I think one of the things that I personally rant about is this whole concept of ROI, because I don't think people actually use the word correctly. And in fact, Augie Ray, who's an analyst with Forrester, wrote a blog post about it yesterday, and I wrote a comment about it. And he said that he talked to a bunch of in-house marketers who said, yeah, we know we're not using it correctly, but upper management makes us. You know, it has to be in whatever we talk about. It has to be a buzzword that must be included. It's, you know, and so there's so much of the conversation convoluted by buzzwords that really don't have any meaning, like solutions. You know, I think we should throw ROI out the door like solutions, because it's so ubiquitous it doesn't actually have any meaning.
Okay.
Well, I'll jump on that and I'll say just because there's measurement doesn't mean that there's ROI. And just because there's ROI doesn't mean you're creating results.
So, Team Me Too? Do you mind,
You
if
guys
I,
done?
mind if I call you Team Me Too? No.
La-di fucking da, people. Okay, so here's the
He
thing.
F-bombed me for me. Oh. Sweet.
So I'll say from kind of, I think we're going to have kind of the Kelly representing the big business, the soulless corporate
The
people.
evil.
Yeah. By the way, corporations are people according to the government. But that
Exactly.
doesn't mean it's right. It just
No,
means it's
according to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
But I just want to make a point. All of you know more about me, the big corporate girl, than any of these people up here. Do you not? I'm a fish head and I'm a funk lover. What do you know about them, huh?
Ooh, snap. So let me give you 10 quick reasons why every business should be on social media. Number one, your customers or competitors are already there. Whether it's 5% of your customers or 95%, they're already there. And you can't afford to be there, not be there if your competitors are there as well. Both of them are probably talking about you and probably talking a lot of shit too. It's also, in my mind, a really excellent source of R&D. So you can go there and you can figure out what people really want in your products and services, both you and the industry and your competitors, because they're telling you it's the world's most affordable focus group. Number three, customer service and support. Haven't even talked about marketing yet. It's really about helping your customers understand the products, whether you're Comcast or everyday music across the street that's got a scratch CD and wants to know the return policy. So it's extremely efficient because you can find people talking about you and you can go talk to them back. Number four, it's an excellent competitive research vehicle. You can see if your number one competitor works with, say, UPS or FedEx, and they say, oh, I'm going to Memphis tomorrow, you can know who they're going to go meet with. So you can start playing game on them and keep a lot of good tags on what your competitors are doing. And that's not even talking about the poor man's GPS Twitter and Foursquare and all those sort of things that people tell you exactly where they are every second of the day so you can go rob them or do whatever else. Number five, it's an effective technique for reputation management. So in the world of search, which is what I know best, is that we use social media to create a presence that helps push down for your brand in terms of your company name, all the other noise that's going on out in the world of Google and Bing and Yahoo. Number six, platform for customer engagement and empowerment. So engagement is you're actually talking and listening to your customers, you're evolving your products, and you're providing tools that help your customers become your number one marketing team. Number seven, it is a proven ad platform, even though Jerry hates it, is that LinkedIn ads are ideal for the targeting certain senior level executives at companies, and Facebook is really good at targeting everybody when their guard is down and you hit them with something relevant, but obviously it has to be relevant. 8, it's highly measurable, yet difficult to measure. And when I say that, everything we do at Anvil and Formic is highly measurable. I know how many people from Twitter booked rooms for hotels. I know how many people became a lead for my B2B clients. But more interestingly, there's the Glad Bag effect, and I tweeted about this, which is Walmart figured out that they could stop carrying certain products and save a little bit of money. But at the end of the day, if they stopped carrying Glad Bags, they would lose X% of their customers that would go somewhere else because they really needed a Glad Bag. And the idea is the Glad Bag being there got them to buy the milk and the cookies and everything else. So not only can we measure the hard ROI in terms of engagement and conversions, but we can try to measure the soft ROI, which is all the halo effect that happens when people engage in social media. And only 2 more, hang with me. Number 9, large brands are helping define and validate the market. So a couple of years ago, social media was kind of the Wild West, and it still is for most companies. But before Intel and the big brands and Dell and all those guys got in, there were a lot of affiliates doing questionable marketing tactics for gaming and porn and all of our favorite pastimes that we don't talk about. And as soon as the big brands come in, they clean it up, basically. They police it for us, and they make it valid. And number 10, according to the research, and I'm only referencing this to combat, but according to Engagement DB, which is Charlene Lee, Groundswell, and all that, and also this thing called Harvard Business Review, I don't know if you've heard of it, they show the direct correlation between social media engagement and profitability, and I rest my case.
They show correlation? No.
Direct correlation. So the most profitable companies are the most socially engaged and vice versa. Starbucks, unfortunately Toyota before this accelerator thing happened, etc.